What's up, everybody? We got game 3 going on here between Sweet Like Ice, aka RFAM, Ready for a Miracle, and Temp Team. So 1-1 in this series so far, as game 3 should indicate. This is the Ultimate Series Solstice Round of 16, and this is a do-or-die game here. No losers bracket in this tournament, so whichever team loses this game will be going home. First two games really stops for their respective teams, as LG and the boys took game 1 in about 19 minutes, and Grata and the guys on Sweet Like Ice took game 2 in just over 15 with an extremely aggressive strategy. Temp team figuring, oh, we got Moon Queen, we got Scout, let's take this game late, and Sweet Like Ice was like, no, thank you, we're just going to push down all your towers with our Keeper, and you're going to lose because we are literally taking your entire base, there's nothing you can do about it. This game, Kraken and Keeper will be separated. Wretched Hag also left unbanned, as the bans are Ophelia and Tempest on the Hellborn side, Scout and Warbeast on the Legion side, so one team taking out the junglers, the other team taking out a couple of strong suicide heroes. Keeper was left open though, so we'll see if he jungles once again, or if he is going to be put in that suicide role, like he is normally, but obviously still a strong jungle hero, so I really have no objections to that. And I suspect we will see the Jungle Keeper. Legion side now picking up Pestilence, Kraken, and Cersei. As one of those heroes are surprising once again. Cersei getting taken. Last game didn't do very well at all, in fact. As both Cersei and Engineer in that aggressive trial lane with Moon Queen ended up massively underleveled. I don't think either of them have ever hit 6. And we'll see what she can do this game. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with me. I have to burp and yawn at the same time. Anyway, that's more information you probably wanted to know. It doesn't matter, Hellborn's taking plenty of time here. So Legion side so far looking strong in the ganks. Not too much carry potential, as both Pesty and Kraken are really semi-carries more than anything. Hellborn have picked up the Wretched Hag and Keeper of the Forest, so lots of lockdown from Keeper, looking for some damage from Wretched Hag, and potentially another carry here that is more pure damage. Moon Queen obviously comes to mind, as does, say, Soul Stealer, Corrupted Disciple, Sandwraith a little bit. Those are heroes that are like, alright, I will do a ton of damage if you just keep these heroes in place, and Keeper says, I'll keep them in place for you, and then we can win these team fights. Obviously a strong pushing hero as well. It will be Dr. Repulsor, so looks like these lanes are shaping up to be very similar to the first game, with Keeper, Hag, and Repulsor all being run once again by Temp Team. Doctor presumably in the short lane, Hag in the suicide, and Keeper of the Forest in the jungle. Sorry. And we'll see what they choose to do with the rest of this, but bans are coming out here. I think Legion side perhaps looking for a short laner. And the Parasite gets taken out by LG immediately, so that makes me think that they are going to run the Jungle Keeper. And they've done it before, so that's really grounded in experience as much as anything, but it also prevents Legion from running a jungler, unless they want to go something like that Legionnaire, which they very well could. Legionnaire a little bit better jungler in the Hellborn jungle, but can certainly hold his own in the Legion jungle as well. And given the success rates of jungles versus second support teams, I would imagine that they'd look to pick up a jungler here. It's a little interesting that they prioritize that Cersei, Kraken, Pesty over the Parasite, I guess, because while I think those heroes are better, there aren't as many heroes that can do what Parasite does. And there are other heroes that can do what Pesty and Kraken do, namely that Ravener, who got banned out here in the second stage. But that's just one. Pebbles is another. Rally, potentially another one. So lots of those strength initiators, Meraxis for that matter, very similar to Pestilence. So it doesn't seem to me like those heroes necessarily need to be picked up so early. Pesty, certainly. You know, he has enough carry potential, and he is a strong enough initiator and ganker. He's so annoying to catch with that flight that I can understand prioritizing him, using a first pick on him. Kraken, I feel like, is a versatile enough hero that he can plug in almost any lineup, and second picking him doesn't reveal a lot about your strat, which is great, but I don't think I just never really feel like Kraken is the reason you won this game. He might be, and it's just, I don't feel that way, but because I'm dumb, but it seems to me like that's a later on draft choice that will complement this lineup, that will increase our ability to do this. And yeah, he fits really well, but there are enough heroes that sort of do what he does. It doesn't seem to me that it was really necessary to pick him up. Hellborn side, meanwhile, they are very gank oriented. Hag and Repulsor both have long range initiation, as does Keeper once he picks up the portal key. Also, so a little bit in terms of the initiation, perhaps better gank though here on the Legion, especially with the Drunken Master 4th pick. The team fight does, I think, go to Hellborn with the Bat Blast, the Keeper of the Forest ultimate, and even Doctor being able to run around a lot in those team fights. Cersei and Kraken will do something to mitigate that a little bit, but it still feels like those two heroes over there will help a lot. Carry potential is certainly on Hellborn's side with both Hag and Doctor Repulsor. I think it sort of looks like Legion's going for the tank meta, and that sort of died out, because I'm not sure there's enough damage here. Now, the Pesty Drunken combination is awesome. I'll give them that. Like, that's an amazing combination, and it is very strong, as Drunken then puts out a ton of physical damage. So what this is looking to me like now is a Kraken long lane, Pesty, and another support in the middle. I don't think that they should have Pesty, Cersei middle. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And then Drunken, Cersei bottom. Obviously, you could still tri-lane here. Glacius gets picks up, so you could put the Pesty in a tri-lane, you could put the Drunken in a tri-lane. So Legion have a couple options when it comes to their lanes, but I think that the defensive dual lanes are probably the correct option here, just because they're going to need to do something to get themselves a strong laning phase, and the aggressive tri-lane is a little too risky because it leaves you the ability to lose those last two lanes as they pick up a Chronos here, so that's surprising. Just because I sort of figured Plague would be the suicide, but it looks like this is going to be a support Plague. Definitely going to be a Keeper jungle. And Chronos is picked up by LG, who's normally their short lane player, I believe. No, Mini Beaver, I guess, has been their short lane player. So this is going to be a suicide Chronos, let's get it on, I guess. It's definitely going to be a suicide Kraken here on the Hellborn and Legion side, so I'm thinking it's going to be defensive dual lanes, and I like that decision. Hellborn have options, man. They've got options. They're definitely going to have Keeper in the jungle, and they're definitely going to have a support Plague Rider. They could suicide the Chronos or the Hag. If they suicide the Hag, then they're going to have to mid one of Chronos or Repulsor. I don't like that. So I think they should mid the Hag, suicide Chronos, and short lane Doctor, and that's what's going to happen here, I think, as it doesn't make the most sense. That puts Plague in the short lane here with Doctor, having a babysit, which is very nice for him. Obviously likes that, likes to get off to a good start. And Hellborn pretty clearly going for late game here. I do love their ulti synergy. I'll say that. The team fight is massively in favor of Hellborn over here, because with the Chronofield going up on top of the root, the Bat Blast and the Plague Carrier will do so much. They will destroy everything. Hag can line up a perfect Bat Blast. Plague Carrier will bounce around without anybody being able to run away from it, because between the root and the Chronos ultimate, where you're going to go. And so they're going to have, I think, the similar strat that Hellborn, that the Legion's team, who was the Hellborn last game, had in the previous game, is we're going to be aggressive early with this team because we have such a strong team fight. The thing is, they don't have to be, so that's not necessarily something they have to commit to. Because they have the late game, they can just sit back and rice if they want to. And if they do that, it's not working, they can switch strats. If they don't do that and just to rice and take this long enough, then that will be very effective for them as well. So really, there are options here on this Hellborn side, and it sort of looks like they're going to run a pseudo tri-lane here with Chronos in the bot and a solo Doctor up top. Considering Kraken's up there, I like that decision actually, because Kraken's going to have some issues killing this Doctor until he hits 6, and at that point Doctor will be 6 himself, and he'll really have issues killing Doctor because Doctor is so damn mobile at 6. So what's going to happen up here is Kraken is going to have to hit 6 before Doctor does, and that's pretty unlikely in the suicide lane. It's possible, but pretty unlikely. So it is going to be defensive dual lanes here from the Legion. They're actually going to put Glacius and Drunken middle, and Pesty and Cersei in the bot lane. I'm not a huge fan of that, just because Drunken will farm faster than Pestilence, and Pestilence ulti is going to be very helpful for Drunken, so getting Drunken's physical damage maxed out as soon as possible should be the goal. But Hellborn going to run an aggressive pseudo tri-lane here with Keeper in the jungle, so it's perhaps not even fair to call it a pseudo tri-lane because Keeper won't exactly be ganking all the time. Probably. But once he does hit 6, it should be very possible to kill at least one of these heroes down here with the Root and the Plague Carrier. It shouldn't be that big a deal. In the middle, we got Drunken going up against Hag and the Glacius. So Glacius should be able to zone out Hag fairly effectively. Instead, now looking to jump into the jungle, and Keeper taking a bunch of damage here from the Ice Imprisonment and a couple auto attacks. Now going to return on Glacius, and Glacius obviously level 1. Doesn't have too much, so he will now run away. Another health burn and mana pot popped by Keeper. And he does have Nature's Veil. So Glacius using the health potion herself, and in fact Cersei running out from this lane to try to help a little bit. We'll cut off this Keeper. And run away. So in this middle lane, it is going to be rather hard to kill this Hag, just because she is such a strong defensive player. So the dual lane going up here isn't going to hurt Hag too badly. She won't get too much farm. This is effectively a suicide lane, perhaps the most suicide lane on the Hellborn team, considering bot is a dual lane. And really, this is a lane that Chronos should have a lot of success in. Jump here onto Pesty. You're going to try to force something out of there. Slows there as well. Pesty's taking a ton of damage. Finally puts the sun out. And they will be fine on Hellborn, of course. Keeper now retreating to his own jungle, choosing not to aggressive jungle there, so Hellborn perhaps going to have to be a little more careful than they would otherwise, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. Up top, Doctor going to be harassed a little bit by Glacius, who's still level 1. And sort of hanging out here. Kraken already level 4, so is Doctor. But he's getting farm up here pretty easily and by himself, so Doctor needs to be really careful about this, because if Kraken does hit 6 before Doctor does, it's not going to be that hard for Doctor to die. Torrent going off there. Magnetic Contraption as well. Gonna put the Thunder Blast. There's the Ice Imprisonment. This is going to be a bloodlust, no question. So Mini Beaver dies up there on top, as now he's in a lot of trouble, because Kraken has his bottle and boots if he wants them. I'm surprised he hasn't bought either yet, but it will also definitely hit 6 before Doctor does, already level 5. I'm going to have another couple of seconds of free farm up here. Buys the boots. No bottle, it doesn't. It looks like. Drunken has one in the middle. I see the courier is going out somewhere. So I'm a little curious. Bottle on Kraken here would be really, really valuable. Chronos and Bot, of course, doing pretty well down here. ALG at 245 gold per minute. Balthazar 256, so in fact relatively even. And Legion are taking a slight lead, as the Keeper is mitigating some of the strong lane presence, but top in particular, obviously 360 gold per minute on Kraken thanks to that Bloodlust. Middle, we have Drunken at 300 gold per minute compared to Hag at just 230, and on bot 250 gold per minute on Pesty compared to Chronos at 230, who actually leads the Hellborn team. So laning phase not going too well here for the Hellborn side. Most of their heroes are on the same level. The problem is it's a pretty damn low level. Up top, Glacius once again has an invis room, looking for a jump onto Doctor. Kraken using the mana pod to go in. Actually, Ice Imprisonment there, and now Doctor's dead once again. Opposite charges, but it's not going to be nearly enough, and she's going to drop. Doctor did buy a bottle, which will help a little bit. On bot, Chronos in a lot of trouble, will actually drop to Cersei. Now Pesty trying to live. Plague Rider chasing him a little bit. Immobilize is there, and he's going to die, in fact, so that's going to be a 2-for-0. 4-0 hero kills now in favor of Legion. So we're taking a substantial golden experience lead. And this is becoming a bit of an issue here for this Hellborn side, not just because the laning phase is going so well for Legion, but because Legion have a strong mid-game team. And Hellborn really went late game, so this could seriously hurt them, because they did sort of need to have a strong laning phase, just because if they don't, as actually Drunken's jumping on Hag here, we'll just put some harass damage out, and both will sip their bottles. But more importantly, all the damage that's coming out here and the advantage that are being taken by the Legion side are going to snowball into that mid game. And Hellborn went late, as up top Doctor dropping again. So once again the charge at least the Kraken actually wasn't even used. And his Doctor is still not level 6, and this is his problem. This is the issue with Doctor, is that he's just not a great laner. And that's why I wanted Plague Rider up here and figuring Chronos could suicide. because you need some defense for this Doctor. Until he hits 6, he is very vulnerable. On bot, double damage is going to be picked up by Plague Rider before it can be killed by Cersei, but pops the invisibility and gets the hell out of there. Looking for perhaps the immobilize here. Does in fact hit Plague Rider. Drunken looking to come in and grab this up top. Mini Beaver dies again. Release the Kraken gets dropped there. Kraken's mana keeps coming back. And Glacius is just repeatedly here, and there's nothing he can do about this. Plague on the bot, meanwhile, finally gets hit by Drunken Master's Lunge. There's a stagger as well, and that's going to be a death, so 7-0 hero kills now in favor of Legion. Chronos getting chased down a little bit as well. So I'm awfully worried about this Hellborn team because they need so much money to get effective. We've seen Chronos without farm before, and he just doesn't do anything. He drops a Chrono Field, which stops the fight for a bit, but he doesn't actually kill anything, and it often doesn't even lead to him getting away if he does not have some items, because the time lead cooldown isn't that short, and he doesn't always have Chrono Field up, so he will die quite a bit. Really, the only thing they have going for them on Hellborn is their massive team fight, so the pub train, which I think is going to have to come out soon, will still be fairly powerful just because their heroes can sort of do that. The issue is that the Legion have such a strong mid-game here that it may not even matter, and they have 3 heroes that are built to absorb damage, and Kraken, Drunken Master, and Pestilence. They have 3 strength heroes as their farmers. So the Root, the Bat Blast, the Plague Carrier, all sorts of stuff coming out inside the Chrono Field may not matter all that much just because they're going to be able to eat the damage and then return it with the Release the Kraken, the Drunken, massive physical damage that is going to come out from him. Once again, jumping onto this Doctor, still not level 6. There's a Dust as well, and he's going to drop for a 5th time. Kraken taking a bunch of damage, but will still live. Now has the bottle. I like that pickup. Certainly being able to keep his health and mana up with that item. Will charge on out before anything spots him. I think they saw the Keeper coming over, and they're like, I don't want to die to that. Drunken in middle having solid farm. So you look at the GPM charts here, and this Suicide Kraken's at 430 gold per minute. Everybody, all the farmers on Legion at 300 plus GPM. Nobody on Hellborn above 280. And in fact, Hag is leading it now. That Keeper is not having a great time in the jungle. 8.5 minutes in here, and he should be farming better than this. It's because he decided not to go the Entmoot route. And this is the issue that people normally have with Keeper is, unless you go Entmoot, he does not jungle as fast as Tempest or Ophelia or even Parasite. Bottom lane, once again, Chronos getting jumped on, but he will be fine. So it's a trade-off. Either you take the fast jungle, and you have some issues if you get ganked, or with ganking top lane once you hit 6 because you don't have invis, or you can take the Nature's Veil and you have the invis and stuff, but you're just not going to jungle very fast at all. Word of Sight going to drop here, I think, because it is in range, but first they're going to try to go for this Doctor and just, man, 0-6-0, and now they're going to counter the ward that just got placed. Oh, this is a suffer game here, and it's quickly going in favor of Legion. Because this is game 3 of a series in a tournament that does not have a loser's bracket, I suspect Temp team is going to try to hang in this for as long as they can. This is not looking very good for them. This Doctor has 96 gold per minute. This is a hero that needs a high GPM. He needs an early Grimoire. He needs an early Icon because he will snowball so damn hard. That's not to say that he can't, and finally he hits level 6, so the aggression is going to be a lot less effective now. Keeper coming in off to the side, gets dusted though, and there's also a Rev Ward right there, so they know exactly where he is. Looking for a root, has one, but not going to be able to do too much. So Doctor probably not going to follow as much. On bot, looking for a jump here as Cersei as she's hiding in the woods, but Glacius getting found out here. Rev Ward not in range of that Keeper, but we'll walk past it once again and just go back to jungling. Finally does have the Ring of Sorcery. Off to the side, we've got Drunken over here. Invis goes down. They don't have any more detection. So Keeper will just be able to walk on out of there. And Doctor shouldn't die too much anymore up in this situation just because he's finally level 6. Only took him 10 minutes. But now he has to recover, and this isn't a hero that recovers all that well. You know, he's not Moon Queen, he's not Sandwraith, he's not Soul Stealer up top. He's getting dove once again. And he'll jump back out. Now he's out of mana. There's a Thunder Blast, and now Doctor's dead again. On bot, meanwhile, Hellborn finally get a kill as Balthazar dies. Chronofield going out there will stop the Cersei ultimate, and 3 heroes here. Bat Blast will finish off Pestiso, of course. Up top, also death on Dr. Repulsor. Repulsor's 0-7-0. Legion have 10 kills and 7 of them are Doctor, and it's not like that's becoming an issue for them in other lanes because they're committing too many resources or anything. Now they're going to drop onto Keeper, actually pushes him away, which probably was not the right decision because Nature's Veil is going to come out now and he'll be fine. Trying to kill the trees here. Dust actually goes off and now Keeper's in a lot of trouble. Will dust himself or Nature's Veil, but it's not going to be enough. And as the dust obviously lasts longer than that. Legion top tower kills the top tower for Hellborn. So now this is going to open up the jungle. Mid tower actually is a little low as well. So if they take this mid tower and the top tower, Hellborn need to rice. Like they need items on all these heroes. Hag needs items. Doctor needs items. Kronos needs items. And I just don't see where the money's coming from. Their push is strong, but they haven't used it yet. Top tower's taking no damage. Middle tower's taking a little tiny bit. Bottom tower's taking none. Keeper's level 8 hasn't really gone down to a committed push yet. And like I said, this opens the jungle. Legion side are now running through the Hellborn jungle looking for something. A couple Hag illusions will get spotted out here. They're going to think that it's real, but it's not. And so that will scout them out a little bit. But now Hellborn cannot feel good about farming their own jungle anymore. That's obviously going to be a problem. Glacius, Kronos, and Drunken off to the side once again. Will kill the Hag illusion. Actually dropping a Torrent on it for some reason. Up top, Keeper's getting dove. Couple of ports coming out there. Release the Kraken gets dropped onto the Kronos, who's porting in. Doctor's here as well. Release the Kraken. Kraken is in a lot of trouble here. Will drop as the Hellborn respond extremely and with prejudice. Mid tower going to be pressured here by Legion, which is exactly what they should be doing. The more map control they can take here now, the better, because they already have a massive lead. 7k gold, 4k experience, really a lot at this point in the game. So if they can now turn this into a mid tower kill, Hellborn can basically never feel safe in their own jungle, because it's going to be really hard to get wards over here, and over here, the 3 entrances, as well as being able to ward anywhere else. So they'll basically be able to either ward up their own jungle and not be super afraid that they're going to get jumped there. Off to the side, Glacius coming in with the flank. They're going to try to get the kill here. Plague Rider manages to deny the tower, but there goes the death on him. Glacius going to trade himself for Plague Rider. Going to try to take over Kronos here, but not enough as the Chronofield comes out, and it's going to be a 2-for-1. Mid tower does fall, so I think they're actually okay with that. They take 2 towers, they kill Plague Rider, and they lose Cersei and Glacius. Not the biggest deal in the world. Supports for supports, but a couple of towers picked up. Kraken diving once again out here onto Dr. Repulsor. Does not have the release of Kraken quite yet, so will not be able to lock him down, but scaring him the hell off this lane, and certainly an effective strategy of that. And it just continues to be an issue. So mid tower now gone, and Hellborn need to have a lot of extremely defensive wards here. Bot tower's gone as well for that matter, so even if they always have 4 wards up, which is nearly impossible to do, between their own jungle and their ancients, they will be vulnerable to attack. Because there are too many points of entry. There's a point up here, there's in from the river, and there's in from the side. Obviously, Legion have all their towers up so they can port anywhere and jump you from anywhere. Drunken getting really ballsy here, diving from the behind, but Invis goes off and he will be able to just scout out. And of course the Ancients in here from the river and in here from the side lane. So those 5 points of entry, 4 wards, can't do everything. Meanwhile, Plague Rider falls real easily down there. Doctor going to turn it onto Glacius. It's a 1-for-1. Root goes out onto 4, in fact. But now Keeper in a lot of trouble. Doctor getting locked down a little bit. Cersei illusion not too much. Bat Blast actually onto 3. And now they're running away. Doctor's going to look to pick up a couple of heroes. Balthazar and that Pest Seed falls immediately. Cersei going to be the next one. Doctor trying to get the hell on out of there, as Mini Beaver actually has a hat trick. Doctor looking for a kill onto actually S2 a little bit over the cliff, and using the drink charges, trying to survive that haunt. Hagen's doing something. Kraken over here trying to lock somebody down. Will eventually get the kill on the Misera there as Dr. Drunken also falls, but now Kraken in some trouble. Will kill Mini Weber as he's so damn tanky. There's the Torrent as well. Gonna try to chase on this Chronos. The Energizer's active. He should be okay, especially because Plague Rider's coming back in here. And now Kraken just gonna get the hell on out of there. Glacia's coming in for some support. There we go. Got Balthazar on the Pesty once again, locking this hag down, and she will die. So there's a serial killer streak for Kraken as he's at 510 gold per minute. Pesty off to the side, perhaps looking for another jump. Will find Plague Rider. No bugs. Where's the stomp? There's a stomp. And bugs as well. Glacia's going to be here with the Ice Imprisonment. This is going to be a dead Plague Rider once again. Chrono's going to jump onto Pestilence, and the Chrono Field goes down. That'll guarantee the kill. Kraken off to the side, puts the turret onto Chronos. Has no release to Kraken and no mana, so should get the hell out of here. DR coming back in. Will pull Kraken. Cersei coming in, looking to pull Doctor, and does so successfully. Ultimate from Glacius doing a ton of damage. Kraken will finally fall. Keeper getting chased down a little bit here. Puts Nature's Veil up. Bat Blast, or sorry, Hag comes just back in. Now the Bat Blast, Sonar Scream. Glacius not in a lot of trouble, but Drunken Master going to block that Hag out. Cersei gets out of the ultimate, but puts the Invis down. Now Glacius also falls to the side, as this is just going to keep going. Cersei over here. Kraken actually buys back, comes in, will kill Mini Beaver on that Doctor once again. Dust goes off, going to catch Hag, so they know where she is, but they obviously are going to have some issues catching her. There's the blink, and she'll be fine. So that team fight went on for about 6 minutes, and a lot of things died. I think the only buyback was on Kraken. Yeah. And now they're going to turn this into a mid-tower push. So through all of that, they don't lose any of their resources, which actually doesn't hurt the Hellborn team that badly, because their objective at this point should be to not fall any further behind. If they can keep this even, they'll take it. Plague Rider off the side going to get picked off pretty easily, as there are portal keys on both Kraken and Pestilence. So they do lose the mid-tower, though, and they lose a pick on Plague Rider there, so in the end, coming out a little behind. And their map control is dissolving. Mini Beaver there picking up 5 kills. Will be 5 and 9. Off to the side, release of Kraken gets dropped onto Doctor. He still has mana. Will be able to get out. Bat Blast onto 3, and Balthazar and Pestilence going to fall really quickly. Root goes out. Despite that, Kraken obviously not going to survive. There's too many heroes doing too much damage. So that's 2-0 there in favor of Hellborn. And ALG on that Chronos gets a couple of kills. So he's up at 300 gold per minute now, but Kraken's still at nearly 500. And Hellborn's GPMs are starting to increase. The experience lead is relatively even, and they're still down by quite a lot of gold. So they're pulling this back a little bit. I just don't know how much they can. The other thing you have to consider here is Ready for a Miracle is playing extremely aggressive, and while they should definitely be playing aggressively, I think they're playing a little too aggressively just because they're diving now tier 3 towers at 18 minutes in the game. If they play a little more conservatively, just take the towers, fight as 4, maybe 5, and do what you can as Hot Rod actually drops. I don't know if she got dusted or what, but yeah, she did. The Hag has dust. So able to chase her down, and that's a nice pick-off. As any kills that they can get onto this Hag, Chronos, or Doctor are going to be huge. But, I mean, their thing should be, let's hunt the woods. Let's keep them out of their own ancients. So ward up the ancients. Hunt the woods all the time. Keep the wards in their jungle. Don't let them have any safe areas to be. And Drunken Master's running through their jungle, which is a good thing, but they should bring more than just him. And defend our towers. Push their towers as much as possible. Chronos over here will time leap onto Pesty. Put the Chrono Field down as well. Hag actually blinks into it. Pesty still could be in a lot of trouble here. We'll have the Impalement onto 2, and Drunken's coming in as well, so they could turn this. Energizer goes off. Hag blinks away. There's the Stagger, and Chronos is going to try to get out of here, but there's the Impel Stun. Actually, Immobilize misses, but Chronos still in a lot of trouble here. Does not have a time leap and will drop, so a little too aggressive there from ALG, and he will pay for it. As Legion do exactly what they should be, and they back up their heroes. If you get jumped, the support definitely needs to be there. This is not a situation where you're like, oh, he's just dead. Especially if it's one of your 3 primary farmers like that Pestilence. So they're going to turn this perhaps into a bot push, and absolutely something that they should do. At least put pressure on these towers. If you get a pick, put pressure on towers. Play aggressive when you have the advantage 4v5. 4 heroes here. I like this very much. This is exactly what needs to be happening. Because you still have to remember that if this game keeps going and going and going, eventually Hellborn will get more powerful than you. There's really no question about that. It's just You need to win before they're allowed to do that, and 5 heroes plus the illusions will take the spot tower, no question. Hellborn's trying to push in mid and might actually get it. That Keeper doing a lot, but keep pushing, man. If they want to take this mid tower from you, then force them to port back to base, force them to defend, force them to stay inside of their base, so that, as there's 5 Krakens here. One expires there, and a couple are going to die, but yeah, I like this. You know, force them to port back, and then back off. Siege the base with illusions, siege it with creeps, just so that every single time they try to push you out, you respond with a push of your own and you take as much. And since you already have the advantage in terms of towers, eventually you'll start taking base towers and you'll start taking racks, and they won't be able to trade anymore. They'll just have to defend. And if they're boxed inside their base, then they can't win. Because these are heroes that need money and they need farm, and if they're going to get that, they need to leave and go into their jungle, go into the lanes and get some CS. But as it is right now, their jungle is extremely exposed. And we've got this Kraken farming it, so this is once again a good thing. Take away the resources. They want to farm their jungle where it's safer. And you've got wards here, that's perfect. I love that. You got another ward over here. Very aggressive. Making sure that you know where they are, making sure you can take their jungle, take their resources, and take their farm in lanes, push them out as much as possible. Up there, gonna drop everything onto Hag, will actually get the kill. Doctor coming in from the side also takes the superior magic stun from the ultimate. Gonna try to chase down this Kraken here, but he's so damn tanky. Has the charge away and the portal key in a couple of seconds. There it is. So he'll be fine. Easy pick onto Hag there, and that's, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now he's gonna be top. Push this top tower. Porting top is Glacius. Everybody else on the Legion side is coming through the jungle. They're coming through the woods. They're coming to try to kill this top tower. As Hag is dead for 15 seconds, so they can put a lot of pressure up here. I love it. This is exactly how I think they should be playing this. And I love to see the strategy executed like this, because this is what's going to net them the win, if anything is going to net them the win. It's not letting a team that has the late game on you get to late game. So this top tower is easily going to die. That's going to be the last outer tower in favor of the Legion.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
Once again, 500 GPM Kraken is the goal. Is certainly in their favor. Experience also a little bit. And they're going to start pressuring the base now. And they don't have to do this fast. They can sit here for a long time with the Circe illusions and just slowly kill this tower. Port coming in as the entire Hellborn team is forced to respond to this. And one thing that I have to note right here, we're 23 minutes into this game. We've never really seen the wombo combo of the ultimates. We haven't seen the Chronos into the Plague Carrier. I'm not sure if we've even seen the Plague Carrier at all. But we haven't seen the Keeper jump in there with the portal key and root everybody, and then Chronos jump in and do it. Actually, up here, going to put the jump onto Hag over here. Chronophil going onto a bunch, looking for a Plague Carrier, will go down. There's Circe taking over Chronos, though. And Plague Carrier doing a lot, actually counter ultimate from Chronos. And now Legion's, like, it's our turn. Adro on that Glacier is already dead. Kraken jumping off of the side, actually, as Chronos is going at it with him. Mighty Beaver there on that Hag falls once again. Chronos and Kraken going at it. Kraken will die. Chronos trying to live now, has the bugs on him, so won't be able to go invis. Nature's Veil obviously there as well, and he'll drop. Circe now going to help take down this Kraken. Will put the dust off, and that's Keeper, so he'll die. But there goes Balthazar and Pesty with a nice buyback from Mighty Beaver. Dust onto Circe, and she's also in a lot of trouble. We'll try to pour it out. Not going to happen, so buyback there from Mighty Beaver was very effective as they genocide the Legion team.
Genocide.
And I'm not sure, did they actually ever, they didn't pick off Hag, I don't think so. The initial jump on Hag didn't do so well, as we finally saw Hellborn execute the wombo combo. As they were aggressive, they jumped, and that was well played from them. But took a buyback from Mighty Beaver. And at 280 gold per minute, he just has nothing. Like, that's a lot of his money at this point. That's a lot of his net worth is that buyback. And that's one more thing that's not going to get him an item, and one more thing that's not going to get him a good situation. So they pick off, 4 hero kills. They lose 5 of their own, but they also force a buyback. And they never actually killed Plague Rider, huh? No. So they got 3 hero kills for 5 and a buyback. Honestly, considering they got the tower, they got a little bit of tower damage here, but I would do that repeatedly. Especially now because all the cooldowns are gone. So I'd be like, well, Bat Blast is 40 seconds. Plague Carrier is 45 seconds. Just do it again right now. Our cooldowns are up. I'm not sure really the Kraken ever actually came out there. But this is a little too passive, because bot tower actually drops there as it is denied, and mid tower had fallen up before. But I would say that you should do this again. And now your window's closing a little bit, because Hellborn's ult are back alive. But my philosophy would basically be push them out, force them to engage on us, force them to drop all their ultimates, and then we come back, and since our ults have shorter cooldowns for the most part, we do that again while they're ulting on CD, we take their tower. And possibly get 1 or 2 hero kills. Cersei farming the woods with her illusions. Up top, Plague and Keeper looking for something, perhaps, just playing defense. Imprisonment there, plus the ultimate there from Glacius. Going to put the Nature's Veil up, and we'll be out of range of that Rev Ward. So a bit of a waste of Glacius ultimate there, in fact. Not a big deal, as she's generally not really an ult that is going to do too much, unless Keeper gets taken by Cersei and locked down, and is allowed to lock down the other team. And to be honest, I think that's probably a better target for Cersei at this point. Kronos' farm isn't that much better than Keeper's, to the point that it's, you know, you can do a ton of auto attack damage. And the root is just so powerful in team fights. So hopefully we'll see Cersei target that Keeper next time. Keeper or Doctor, Keeper, Doctor, or Hag. I think actually Kronos is 4th. Maybe even Plague Rider because of the ultimate. Just the Kronos field, it locks down her team too, so it's not that big a deal. She's not going to be able to do too much damage inside of it. And if she takes over another hero, then she'll be able to probably do way more damage, I think. Keeper number 1, Hag number 2. As jump here onto Doctor once again. There's the loose Kraken as well, and Doctor's totally screwed. So quick, easy jump there, and this should turn into a top push. I love it. Force that last buyback out from Mini Beaver. And these illusions plus Kraken are going to push this out, and Hellborn's going to be like, where is our initiation? Because we can drop this Kraken, but he's super tanky. He's probably not going to die very fast. Here comes Creeps as well. We'll see if this tower can take too much damage. Mini Beaver still has 24 seconds. Does have a buyback. Obviously all those fakes up there doing plenty. Off to the side, Kronos going to jump here onto Drunken Master. We'll try to kill him. Kraken locks him down though. Kronos off to the side, going to take it over, but actually Cersei gets stopped. Plague Rider goes down before he can do anything. Drunken Master's now up. Root goes down. And Drunken's finally going to fall here. Illusions are all over the place now. Astro can die in a couple of hits. Kraken is in a lot of trouble. He will run away. And probably not going to live here. Has the Haunt debuff on him, but looking to get out of there without too much hero damage and finally get the portal key off. Actually has it now. Nope, Time Leap is there. Cersei's just going to port away. And, oh god, run. Run, Kraken. There's the Haunt once again, so that's going to stop it. And there goes the Kraken down. So Mini Beaver finally coming back. They get more damage here on this tower, and perhaps I think next time they just want to push it go super hard because this isn't actually working that well. Their building damage is kind of terrible. They're just really not able to kill that tower fast enough with these Cersei illusions. This Kraken doesn't really hit that hard. 118 to 124 damage. She's just not that painful against towers. So maybe it should be Balthazar. Maybe it should be Drunken. Probably should be Drunken. Up there, putting the damage in. I understand why they want Kraken because he's the tank. But Drunken, of course, has the D-armor, and he's got the stronger auto attack. Up top, Pestilence going to drop this Kronos, and he will just run away. 30 minutes in the game now. Only a 5k gold lead and a 4.5k experience lead here, so... Honestly, I liked how this Legion side was playing it, but it doesn't seem like they're really able to kill this tower. They should be. I don't understand why. They should be able to. I think perhaps if they committed more resources to it and just jumped the damn tower with all 5 of them, they'd kill it instead of just the slow pushing stuff with Kraken. So that might be the bad decision there. Just because he doesn't seem to have enough damage. Doctor chooses to come in from nowhere and kill his Glacius. As he does not have an icon, but is working on the Shrunken, I think. Apparently Glacius will be back again someday. GPM chart's now getting a little scarier as Hag is catching up. Seriously taking the Hellborn jungle, so they're still doing a good job of resource controlling their opponents, but they're just not winning these team fights. So in fact, I think what the answer might be here is a split push. And we don't see that very often, but because Hellborn are so reliant on all their ultimates to do so much damage, if you split push, it might be more effective. Get a pick onto somebody and try to take 2 towers at the same time and just womp on them. So one side might get busted up by all the ultimates, but that's fine because the other side will get a tower, maybe a Rex. Especially because Legion's ultimates aren't really that teamfight oriented. You know, even the release of Kraken is very often well used against just one target, and that's what they've been doing a lot of recently too. Is just let's lock down somebody real fast, get them picked off, and then in that situation, a split push might work just fine. So I still think Legion's in the lead now, but it's slipping. It's slipping a little bit, and they perhaps need to do something to deal with that. Kongor is another option. If they can get a token, they can basically have the confidence for somebody to just sit on that tower and wail on it, particularly Drunken Master, I think would be the right decision for that, just because once again, Kraken doesn't seem to have the damage. DM's hitting for nearly 200 hit plus all the D armor, and Kraken is at 123 to 130, so the spot shadow attacks help, but that's really only against creeps. Kongor's here. Looks like they might be attempting it. Acolyte staff picked up by their right Kraken, as I assume. Is he going Sheepstick? So this is looking like it's going to be a Kongor kill. Word of Sight there is spotting this out. So Hellborn know it's there, and they know what's happening. They're doing this a little fast. Up top 2 here. I was looking to get a kill up there. Glyph goes off, but they're going to port mid, and they're going to address this. So we're going to see a fight at Kongor here, and most of Legion team is pretty well alive, so that shouldn't be too big a deal for them. Off to the side, Plague Rider is spotted out by that Ward of Rev. Actually puts one down that sees a Ward of Sight. Kraken finishing the Siege Stick. Off to the side, will catch Hag with the Impale, but Chronofield go on to 3, and now we're going to see an easy death onto Pesty. Bat Blessed onto a couple. Nice Chronofield for the counter, but Kraken releases the Kraken inside of Plague Rider, and the counter root gets dropped. Now we have Adra falling as well. Misera is already dead. Kraken's taking a bunch of damage here. He's going to fall as well. Cersei the only one left alive, and this is going to look like a 5 for nothing here. A complete genocide in favor of the Hellborn with losing no heroes. As the team fight, man, they got to stop team fighting. They could have done it before, I think, before they had level 3 ultimates on everybody. Now, well, everybody except Plague. And now it's just way too much damage. There's so much lockdown between the root and the Chronofield. They're going to finish off Kongor on the Hellborn side now, presumably give a token to Doctor, as he's at 320 gold per minute, so finally starting to recover. 320 GPM as a Doctor in 35 minutes is awful. I mean, that's just not like, okay, you're an awful player. He got destroyed top. They played it really well in Legion, but that's just, it's suffer. It's suffer is a better word for it than awful. You're just like, I can't do anything. I have a Shrunken and that's it. My mana regen is shit. I have to come into every team fight with full mana, otherwise I won't be able to do anything. My damage output is just not going to be that good. He's not hitting that hard, 140 to 150 damage. Not really that spectacular. Well, to be fair, nobody on Legion is hitting all that hard either. Pesty not hitting that hard. Brunken's hitting pretty hard now, but still not that hard. And Kraken, of course, we've talked about it a couple of times, just does not have too much damage. Has a Sheepstick now. That'll be nice for all of the getaway that Hellborn have. Of course, there's Geometer's Bane on Chrono, so that could be a little more annoying if he accidentally sheeps an illusion. And for that matter, Doctor has an illusion in battle up, bump up. So now, for the first time, I think in this game, Hellborn have a golden experience lead. As they took a pretty massive team fight and swung pretty everything in their favor, and then the Kongor kill, of course, 4.5k gold, 18k experience. And now Legion should be concerned, because Hellborn were up on hero kills for the first time probably in this game too, I think, as Legion were up 7-0. they have to be thinking our window is closing, if not closed. And we just took too many team fights while their ultis were all up. It sucks too, because I feel like Legion played this they played their lineup so well. And it just comes down to a drafting issue. I think in hindsight too, I'm not sure there's much more I would have done than what they did. Maybe split push, like I said before. Maybe that was really their only option. Meanwhile, Legion once again pushing top as a team. Hellborn going to push down middle. All the Illusions doing a ton of work to this tower. They'll be able to port back too. And TPs, where are the TPs? Everybody TP, there's one. There's two more. So here come all the ports back up top. Everybody's ultimates available. They're going to finally just go straight in for this tower. Chrono's going to jump in here, put the Chrono Field into a bunch, takes a Sheep Stick early on. He will get taken over by Cersei. Ultimate from Glacius doing a bunch. There's a Chrono Field on top of it as well. LG going to fall right off the bat. Glacius in trouble. He's getting rooted. Masera drops as well, though. And there goes Adro. Doctor just getting out of there. Plague Carrier doing a ton of damage. Pestilence is in a lot of trouble. They're putting a bunch here onto Keeper, but Kraken's getting dropped down again. We'll actually take the token off of Doctor, but he drops in the meantime. Cersei is running away with that bound. I did get it dusted, in fact, and they're going to jump him. Wow. That token bringing him back with all sorts of mana, and Mini Beaver just comes back. Mini Beaver was 0-7-0. He's now 10, 11, and 13, which means he's gone 10 and 4 and 13 in like the last 25 minutes. So he has recovered like a motherfucker. Hellflower going to the Pesty there as Hag's trying to push in this middle lane. Doctor and Kronos joining her. They should get a mid tower here. I'm shocked. This is going to be... Hellborn are going to get a base tower and a Rax, it looks like, before Legion do. That is really surprising to me.
A Legion barracks has been destroyed.
And now they can get the hell out as the cooldowns or the respawn timers are over. That's going to be second Rax.
Has been destroyed.
Wow. No doubt Hellborn in control of this game now. 11.5k gold, 24,000 experience. Their heroes have farm. 450 on Hag, 370 on Kronos. Now Kraken all the way down to 380. He's basically gotten no farm in the last couple of minutes, as he's just died a whole bunch. Doctor up to 354. He's the 4th highest farmer here on the Hellborn side, and he would be the 2nd highest in Legion. Ugh. I don't even know how this happened. Like, just a couple of bad team fights, and their entire advantage is gone. They'd spent so long building it, and they did such a good job. And I can't really fault RFAM for anything other than, I guess, the draft. I mean, their draft just... I guess it's too mid-game oriented, but we've seen mid-game lineups win before. I think this is certainly a lineup that can win. Maybe too much melee up against all these lockdowns. The roots and the Chrono Field mean all these melee heroes are grouping up together to try to attack a single target, and they get jumped by the lockdown abilities, but... I don't know. I mean, I can say this isn't really a lineup I would have drafted, not because I think it's bad, just because it's not my style. I like having the late game there, and I don't think that either Drunken or Pesty are strong enough late game heroes. And this is a lot of the reason why this isn't really my style of lineup. Then again, my style of lineup would probably lose to this style of lineup quite often too, just because it wouldn't have the... Meanwhile, off to the side, gonna jump Kronos, will get him. Doctor to jump here with the Stone Head, will get a kill on Adro in return. Keeper ultimate coming down, and they're gonna try to chop down the Cersei before she dies. Does so. Keeper ultimate, Plague ultimate bouncing around. Shrunken Head wears off, and it's going to do too much damage to Pesty and wow, quad kill there for Mini Beaver. And everything dies. 4 for nothing. As actually, sorry, 4 for 1, but ALG bought out. It's worth noting ALG and Mini Beaver both are out of buybacks. Balthazar and Catlomain have used one themselves on Pesty and Kraken. Second to last out of tower here. Gonna drop in favor of Hellborn. And they're gonna look to take a second Rax. I don't know, man. This is going to be a pretty painful loss. And I'm not sure that there's anything that Legion can do to come back from it at this point. And I think I probably would have said the second thing, the other way around, about 20 minutes ago. Legion were looking so good. They were just looking completely dominant. Everywhere, they were picking off that Doctor so hard, and he just came back. He's a good hero, man. I think it's worth noting that Hellborn's lineup in particular sort of helped them out a lot, because if they had anything slightly more mid-game oriented, they would have lost this game. I think they really need the fact that Hag, Kronos, and Doctor all scale so well to carry them through this. Because if they had a hero or two that was tapering off more, and they really don't. I mean, Keep Root is always viable. Play Rider, I guess, a little bit, but he's not even level 16 yet. I mean, he's going to be more powerful when he hits 16 and he has a level 3 Plague Carrier. He's still doing a lot in these team fights. So, I don't know. I'm sort of trying to find ways to be like, Legion are still in this, and they deserve to win. And I mean, they played so well. They really did. Like, I'm not just... They were in absolute control of this game for so long, and they just lost it so quickly. A couple of bad team fights, and it just completely turned around. And it really shouldn't have. I think part of it was they have no building damage. They have no real way to take a tower down quickly. So Hellborn were basically able to wait in the back for the perfect opportunity, because they weren't in, they were like, say, okay, it's going to take them a minute and a half to kill this tower. So we have lots of time to just sit here and wait for somebody to be back up, or to wait for somebody to step a little too far forward, and then we can initiate on that. It's obviously fake drunken, and Doctor will perhaps realize that. Kraken off to the side, obviously with the Portal Key and Bandai, looking perhaps for a jump onto Doctor, who has a Nullstone now on top of his Drunken, so going pretty heavy defensive here. Sorry, just banged my elbow against something. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But it hurts now, so that's fun. And we'll see what's happening. Kongor presumably going to be up in a couple of seconds, and they'll get another token onto Kronos this time, like maybe on Doctor.
Hey, Andy.
Oh god, somebody else is here. Andy and Lauren are both here.
Oh, you're in a game. Okay.
I'll mute this. There we go. Sorry about that. I forgot to mute my sound, and my friends are here. I don't know. And you can see now Hellborn are taking Legion jungle. Doctor has a regen, so he's having fun. And it was the other way around, you know, just recently. Where Kronos would be like, no way I'm going to that Legion jungle to do anything. Kongor is back up, and Hellborn is going to go straight for it. Figuring token means mega creeps means game, and they're probably not wrong. This is going down rather quickly. As Kronos is just wrecking him with that Elder Parasite. Hag and Doctor doing plenty of damage themselves. And Kongor is going to fall now in a matter of about 5 or 10 seconds. Over here, Circe Illusion will scout it out, but nothing they can really do about it. Doctor getting a second token here. See Doctor going to jump in here onto Circe. Chronofield onto 3. Bat Blast onto 3. Circe trying to take it all the ultimate here. Actually gets stopped and will kill. Test you guys first though. Release the Kraken going down. Adro actually going to fall in the background. Hag gets out before she dies. Kraken manages to finish off Plague Rider but dies himself. And Drunken Master's the only ones alive. It's 4 for 1 there as Hellborn lose their support, but take everybody except for Drunken Master. They also have a token up on Doctor, so they're going to take the secondary outer tower on the bot lane and then push through and get mega creeps. And I don't see the way back here from Legion.
The Hellborn had destroyed a Legion tower.
This is pretty much game. Drunken's hiding over here in the trees, perhaps looking for something. Activates the ultimates like, whatever. I'll jump in here again, I guess. Chronos coming in here will knock him down for a little bit. Activates the Energizer, and they're like, alright, now you're gone. So we'll finish the tower. And here's the racks. Nobody on your team has a buyback. Glyph will slow them out a little bit, but it's not going to stop this. And there's the CC vote. And the game. So, well played there to Hellborn, staying in this for a lot longer than I thought that they were going to, and well played to Legion too, to be honest. There are not that many games where the losing team plays as well as they did, and I really do think that they did play well. They figured out what their lineup was going to do, and they executed it extremely well. They just couldn't beat them. As the building damage wasn't there, the team fight wasn't quite there, and it turned into a bad situation for them. Ron Doctor has a token still, of course, so he's fine. So that means the series will go 2-1 to Temp Team, and ready for a miracle here. One of the better teams in Han, going pretty far into the Han Tour playoffs, in fact, making it to the second group stages, will get knocked out in the round of 16 as Temp Team takes the series 2-1, and that will do it for us.